Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video, we're tackling a very groundbreaking anime among the Yu-Gi-Oh fandom, Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 was a significant series in the Yu-Gi-Oh! franchise, introducing the concept of pendulum summoning to the game. We'll get into the history about the show a little later, but before we get any further, make sure to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you never miss any updates. Now, without further ado, let's get it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 first aired on TV Tokyo on April 6, 2014, just 2 weeks after Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal 2 ended. This show eventually ran until March 26, 2017, and had mixed reactions from viewers and critics for its introduction of pendulum summons, a move in Yu-Gi-Oh! That lets players special summon multiple monsters at the same time between the levels of pendulum scales in their pendulum zones. Unlike its predecessors, Kazuki Takahashi had minimal involvement in the project. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Creator was only involved in providing the basic premise of the game and concepts briefly visited in the Synchro dimension. Unlike the original series, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, 5Ds, and Zexal, Arc 5 was the only series at the time not directly involved with Takahashi. It was solely overseen by Studio Gallop and ran for 148 episodes over a total of 6 arcs. So, let's get into the story. The Pre-Arc League Championship. Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 takes place in an alternate dimension from all the previous Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. And in this world, the usual ways of summoning monsters, like fusion, synchro, and Xe summoning, are no longer mainstream knowledge, but special skills taught to duelists. One day, at Paradise City's Yusho Duel School, a young duelist named Yuya Sakaki is approached with the opportunity to duel against the current action duel champion, the Sledgehammer. Yuya remembers 3 years ago when his father Yusho, the founder of the Yusho Duel School and creator of action dueling, mysteriously disappeared before an important match with the Sledgehammer. Yuya accepts, and during the duel, he uses Perform-a-Pow monsters and action cards, gaining the upper hand, but he finds himself cornered when the Sledgehammer counters his moves. In a moment of despair, Yuya's pendant reacts, transforming his monsters into pendulum monsters, allowing him to perform the first ever pendulum summon. This surprising move leads to Yuya's victory, captivating the audience and sparking a surge of interest in pendulum summoning. Following his win, Yuya faces challenges in replicating the pendulum summon, practicing in 291 duels against his friend Gong before he figures out how to do it again. After this, Yuya meets Silvio Sawatari, a student from the Leo Institute of Dueling, who steals his pendulum cards and challenges him to a duel. After losing to Yuya, Silvio sends his friends to take back Time Gazer Magician and Stargazer Magician. But they are stopped by a mysterious boy named Sora, who after dueling with Yuya, convinces the others to let him join Yusho Duel School. After this, during school, Yuya is falsely accused of attacking Silvio after the match. This incident leads to a duel between Yusho Duel School and the Leo Institute of Dueling for ownership of Yusho Duel School. Yuya fiercely battles Dipper, LID's top Xseeds user, overcoming his formidable Constellar monsters with pendulum summoning. Zuzu Boyle, Yuya's friend, then faces defeat against Julia Crystal, adding pressure onto the team. However, Gong ends his match in a draw, maintaining hope for Yusho Duel School. A mysterious duelist named Declan then appears and challenges Yuya on behalf of LID. Yuya confronts Declan, discovering that he can also pendulum summon, and is pushed to the edge but saved at the last moment when Declan forfeits, revealing his full name is Declan Akaba, the son of Leo Akaba, the founder of the Leo Institute of Dueling, and then leaves. The next day, Yuya decides to qualify for the Junior Arc League Championship. Silvio taunts him about pendulum summoning, promising to defeat Yuya with new pendulum cards from the Leo Corporation. However, Yuya's win rate is below the requirement for the championship. Another duelist named Nico then arranges 4 duels for Yuya. In between those duels, Yuya is attacked by LID students but saved by a duelist named Shay, who Xseed summons a monster that is able to inflict real damage against the students and seal them in cards before disappearing. Yuya's final opponent is then revealed to be Gong. They are both 1 duel away from qualifying for the tournament, and Gong reveals that he's learned how to synchro summon, almost defeating Yuya in the match, but loses to Yuya's new fusion monster, Beast Eye's Pendulum Dragon, qualifying him to enter the tournament. Number 2. The Arc League Championship. With the tournament underway, Yuya makes it just in time, surprised to see Shay among the LID students, and learns he will face Silvio Sawatari next. Silvio tries to defeat Yuya with his Yosenju cards, but Yuya counters with Odd Eye's Pendulum Dragon and Performer Pal Drumarilla. Despite Silvio's use of Pendulum Summoning to challenge Yuya, Yuya summons Beast Eye's Pendulum Dragon and ultimately wins the match. The next match, Yuya and Zuzu watch Sora duel against Shay. Shay's Xyz monster, Raid Raptor Rise Falcon, causes real damage during the duel, worrying Yuya. Sora then reveals that his people had attacked Shay's homeland. The duel then ends with Sora hospitalized, pushing Yuya to realize this is more than some school rivalry. At the hospital, Yuya learns about Yuto, another duelist who looks like him and was behind the previous attack on Silvio. Sora then escapes from the hospital, so Yuya goes to look for him, but finds Sora dueling Yuto and intervenes, worried for Sora's safety. Despite Yuto's advantage, he shows restraint against Sora. Yuya, feeling a mysterious pain, joins the duel, but Sora is unwilling to back down. Yuya learns that Shay and Yuto are from another dimension called the Xyz dimension, and Sora from the Fusion dimension. The duel is then interrupted by Yugo, another Yuya lookalike, leading to a chaotic three-way duel. Yuto entrusts Yuya with his Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, urging him to use it to bring joy through dueling, and both he and Yugo vanish in a glow of blue light. Yuya, seeing this, collapses to the ground. After being unconscious for 2 days, Yuya wakes up to learn about the Arc League Championship's progress from Zuzu. He tells Zuzu about Yuto and about the ongoing war between the Fusion Dimension and the Xyz Dimension. Yuya, confused about his connection to Yugo and the resemblance between Yuto's friend Lulu and Zuzu, decides to get answers from Shay the next time they cross paths. Yuya is then warmly welcomed by his friends and expresses concern over the battle ahead. His next duel is against Iggy Arlo. During the match, Iggy pushes Yuya so hard that Yuto's soul merges with his, changing Yuya's personality and dueling style, utilizing Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. Yuya then defeats Iggy, but is troubled by the aggressive nature of his win. Reflecting on Yuto's wish for him to bring smiles through dueling, Yuya watches Zuzu's match with mixed feelings. However, seeing the audience's joy reignites his resolve to duel with a smile, helping him recover his spirit after his intense battle with Iggy. During the Battle Royale at the championship's final round, Yuya faces a challenging duel against Nagi and Taka, but is assisted by Dennis McField, an LID transfer student. With Dennis's help, Yuya overcomes the violent dueling methods of his opponents, and guided by Dennis's encouragement, summons Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon again to win the match. Later, Yuya encounters Shay, who questions him about Yuto since Yuya possesses Yuto's card. Before Yuya can fully explain, they are attacked by Sora and an elite group of Duel Academy soldiers from the Fusion Dimension called the Obelisk Force. Yuya's anger triggers a transformation influenced by Yuto's memories, enhancing his dueling abilities to defeat the Obelisk Force. Despite the victory, Yuya is left confused and concerned about the darkness and anger within him, which seems to be linked somehow to Yuto. As the tournament continues, Yuya faces Sora, attempting to remind him of the joy in dueling. Their intense duel is unresolved due to a time limit, and Sora leaves to go back to his own dimension before Yuya can question him. Declan then arrives, and it is revealed that the Battle Royale was just a test to determine duelists who were strong enough to fight Duel Academy and the Fusion Dimension. Number 3. The Friendship Cup. After the Battle Royale, Yuya is overwhelmed and many of his friends are lost and potentially turned into cards by Duel Academy. Declan then admits to using the battle as a selection process to build a team to fight against Duel Academy, leading to a heated duel between him and Yuya. Declan provokes Yuya, hinting that his friend Zuzu might not be sealed in a card, intensifying their duel. Yuya, tapping into the power of Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon and Odd Eye's Rebellion Dragon, fights fiercely but is ultimately defeated by Declan, who acknowledges Yuya's skills with pendulum summoning as crucial for their team called the Lancers. The next day, Yuya and the Lancers use upgraded versions of their duel discs and special dimensionizer cards to set off to the Synchro Dimension, hoping to find Zuzu and recruit more allies. In the Synchro Dimension, Yuya, Selena, Silvio, and Riley are mistaken for wanted criminals by Sector Security and forced into duels. Silvio loses quickly, and Yuya duels to protect Riley, trying to entertain even Sector Security. Despite Selena winning her duel, more officers arrive. Luckily, Crow Hogan and other turbo duelists appear and help them escape. At Crow's, a disagreement over priorities leads Yuya and Crow to duel, but Sector Security interrupts, arresting them and takes them to a facility. There, Yuya encounters Gong and Dennis, also captured, and refuses to surrender his cards for privileges. Yuya then duels the prison boss Chojuro and wins, earning their respect. Crow plans an escape, which Yuya joins, but their plan is thwarted by Sector Security, leading to their capture. The Lancers are brought before the High Council and Jean-Michel Roget of Sector Security. Yuya's story and their mission against Duel Academy convinces the council to allow them to prove themselves in the Friendship Cup, with Yuya selected to duel the king himself, Jack Atlas. Yuya faces off against Jack, but is no match. After losing, it was revealed it was just an exhibition match, and Yuya is allowed to stay in a penthouse as a Friendship Cup participant. Yuya then watches Gong and Crow duel, saddened by Gong's loss. Yuya then learns that duelists in the Friendship Cup are forced to do labor underground if they lose. Despite his protests against the tournament's cruelty, Yuya duels Officer 227, winning, but is saddened by the crowd's thirst for violence. As the first round progresses, Yuya watches duels, including Yugo's, which triggers a reaction between their dragons. After witnessing brutal matches, Yuya learns Dennis's true allegiance is to Duel Academy. Shaken, especially by Dennis's role in Lulu's kidnapping and the invasion, Yuya struggles with his emotions and Yuto's anger within him, reaffirming his goal to bring smiles through dueling despite the surrounding darkness inside of him. Number 4. The Friendship Cup Finals. In the second round of the Friendship Cup, Yuya watches Zuzu duel Sergei and is horrified by her defeat. Distraught over Zuzu's condition and unable to convince Shinji to abandon his revolutionary ideas, Yuya's focus wavers in his duel against Shinji. However, after seeing that Zuzu is okay through Sora's help, Yuya wins, achieving his first Pendulum Synchro Summon and defeats Shinji. After his victory, Yuya faces suspicion due to his unique summoning method and the favoritism shown to him by Jean-Michel Roget, Sector Security's director. Yuya's determination to rescue Shinji and find Zuzu leads him outside the Duel Palace, where he learns Sora's intentions and the looming threat of Duel Academy's invasion. After being captured while trying to protect Sora, Yuya is brought to Roget, who reveals his ambitions to dominate the Synchro Dimension and sees Yuya as a potential king, a role that Yuya rejects. While captive, Yuya synchronizes with Yugo during his duel, showcasing the power of their dragons. Freed to duel against Crow, Yuya contemplates the mysterious connection between himself, Yuto, and Yugo, as well as their dragons, as he prepares for his next challenge. With the semi-final about to begin, Crow reconciles with Yuya. They plot Yuya's escape during their duel to save Declan and Riley from Roget's clutches. However, Roget has implanted a chip in Yuya, leading to a synchronization and awakening with his counterparts, intensifying their duel. Despite Crow's efforts, Yuya wins but collapses, waking to Crow's plea to protect Selena from Duel Academy forces before Crow is taken away. Yuya then encounters the Obelisk Force in the Synchro Dimension, fighting to protect Riley and Selena. Despite Barrett's demands and traps, Yuya refuses to surrender. The arrival of Yuri, another Yuya lookalike, and the awakening presence of their dragons amplifies the tension. But Zuzu's sudden appearance disrupts the duel. In a desperate bid to free Zuzu from Sergei's trap, Yuya abandons his Smile philosophy, choosing to destroy Smile World to save her, leading to his defeat by Sergei. Gathering with Gong, Silvio, and the others, Yuya then plans to rescue Zuzu, but is halted by his injuries. Observing Jack's duel with Sergei, Yuya is inspired by Jack's victory and all of the commoners' response. Determined to restore smiles to the commoners, Yuya vows to duel Jack, rallying support from his friends to reach the Duel Palace amidst the chaos and make a public declaration of his intent to duel Jack and bring joy through their battle. In the final duel between Yuya and Jack, Yuya is challenged to showcase his growth since their first duel. Initially struggling with Jack's criticism and his own inherited duel style, Yuya manages to find his own unique path by embracing pendulum summoning as his innovation. Despite interference from duel chasers and Roget's manipulation, Yuya and Jack push each other to their limits, with Yuya ultimately unveiling their Nirvana High Paladin, the first synchro pendulum monster summoned without a tuner, impressing Jack and signaling his growth. Yuya's determination and strategy leads to a hard-fought victory over Jack, making him the new dual king. This duel not only dissolves the tops and commoners system, forcing people into labor, but also unifies Neo-Domino City. However, the celebration is cut short by news of Zuzu's recapture by Roger. Yuya, with the help of his friends and even the former council, rushes to rescue Zuzu. In a dramatic confrontation against sector security, Yuya saves Zuzu from falling. But Roger's last-ditch escape attempt inadvertently teleports Yuya, Zuzu, Gong, Silvio, Shay, and himself to the ruins of Heartland City in the Xyz dimension. Number 5. Heartland City Ark. In the Xyz dimension, Yuya and his fellow Lancers encounter the destruction left behind by Duel Academy and strive to aid the survivors, which leads to a conflict with Duel Academy. He then runs into Kite Tenjo, who joined a resistance and duels him. Kite loses to him and joins Yuya. It is then revealed that Duel Academy's commander-in-chief is Aster Phoenix. The two face off and Yuya manages to defeat him, turning Aster from an enemy to an ally. The gang then gets ready to enter the fusion dimension. After arriving in the fusion dimension, Yuya and the others rush to save Zuzu from Duel Academy students led by Dennis McField. Despite interference from Iggy Arlo, Yuya duels to protect Zuzu, employing a strategy of pendulum Xyz summoning and clever use of action cards to win against Iggy's formidable Shura the Combat Star. As Yuya tries to follow Zuzu to learn about his father, they encounter Captain Cutter, who kidnaps Zuzu. Yuya duels Cutter, hindered by Captain Lock, until Sora and newly arrived Lancers help defeat Cutter. Learning about Duel Academy's mind control plans from Sora, Yuya vows to rescue Zuzu and stop the Professor's schemes, the Professor being the one behind all of this pulling the strings. Upon reaching Duel Academy, Yuya faces Lulu, who's under mind control. Yuto's spirit aids Yuya, transforming his deck for the duel. Despite their efforts, Selena, also under mind control, joins the duel against them. Faced with the sight of Zuzu also under control, Yuya's anger triggers an awakened state, enabling him to summon Odd Eye's Raging Dragon and defeat both Lulu and Selena. After the duel, Yuya confronts the Doctor, the mastermind behind the mind control. Trapped and unable to rescue Zuzu, Yuya is left in despair. However, a monitor reveals that his father Yusho, alongside Declan and Riley, are alive, hinting at a deeper connection between Yuya's family and the events unfolding in the fusion dimension. Number 6. The Duel Academy Arc. In the fusion dimension, Yuya learns that his father and the Professor, aka Leo Akaba, created the Arc system, a technology that allowed for duel monsters to affect the real world and gave birth to action dueling. Their dimension, known as the Standard Dimension, was not actually the original dimension, as Yuya never originally existed. The original dimension was home to a pro-duelist named Zark, who created pendulum summoning, but eventually turned into a psychotic being named Supreme King Zark. Leo then created 4 cards that could defeat Zark, but they were stolen by his daughter Rei, who defeated Zark and split him, herself, and the original dimension into 4 pieces. Leo Akaba has since been the mastermind behind Duel Academy and the Fusion Dimension's attacks. Confronted with the truth and Leo's plan to merge the dimensions and resurrect his daughter Rei using her counterparts, Zuzu, Lulu, Selena, and Rin, Yuya refuses, challenging Leo to a duel alongside Declan. As the duel unfolds, Leo reveals Yuya, Yuri, Yugo, and Yuto are Zark's fragments, and Yuya's abilities have actually been Zark trying to reawaken. Yuya's internal battle with Zark then reaches a climax as he absorbs the rest of his counterparts, completing Zark's resurrection. But Yuya's spirit fights back. Harnessing the power of Smile Universe, Yuya temporarily regains control, sacrificing himself to seal Zark away, sparing the worlds from destruction. After Zark's defeat, the Standard Dimension transforms into the Pendulum Dimension, erasing Yuya's memories of Zuzu and all of his adventures. He then receives an invite from Declan to the Junior Arc League Championship. During the first round, he regains his memories, and Yuya discovers that Riley Akaba has been turned into a baby and absorbed Zark's soul. The reenactment of the Ark League Championship aims to restore Riley's smile and prevent Zark's soul, partially residing within Riley, from wreaking havoc once again. After winning the Battle Royale round, Declan takes Yuya away with him, making their way through the different dimensions to challenge their previous allies like Dennis, Shay, and Jack Atlas. After winning the duels, Yuya learns that Zark's soul is about to reawaken, as none of these duels have made baby Riley smile yet, and challenges Declan to a final duel. Ultimately, Yuya's innovative tactics and the use of Performapal 5 Rainbow Magician leads to his victory, making Riley laugh and saving the world, causing the revival of Rei as Zuzu. Yuya is then surprised by his father, who appears and challenges him to one last duel. And that is the end of Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to special summon that like button, click subscribe, and slap the bell notification icon so you never miss another video. Until next time, peace!